TikTok literally changed the way that advertising works. Like if you look at more commercials on television or online, they all feel like a TikTok type of video because it's recognizing the fact that people are always on their phones. They have a very short attention span, and there's a way to market to people in a way that is entertaining slash educating, but also advertising.
Hello, and welcome to The Content Bite, a podcast for freelancers who use their words to make money. I'm Rachel Smith, a freelance journalist, copywriter, and content producer. I'm also the founder of Rachel's List, a jobs board and community for Australian writers and other creatives.
And I'm Lynn Testoni. I'm a journalist and content writer as well. Rachel and I are your weekly co-hosts, and every week we bring you all kinds of tips, tricks, and some fabulous guests to help you make the most of your freelance business.
I used spreadsheets for 15 years, but as my business got more complicated, I needed something more. And Rounded was the accounting software that converted me. It helped simplify at tax time while still letting me take ownership of what goes on in my freelance business. Gold members of Rachel's List can save 20% on an annual Rounded plan, so see the show notes for details.
Hey Rachel, I want to ask a question. What are your thoughts on Instagram and TikTok as a way of making money and securing some new clients?
That's a leading question.
I know. I think it's good. I think it's something we haven't talked about.
I know. Well, I spend a lot of time on Instagram. I am quite strategic about Instagram and I am on TikTok, but I'm more of a lurker. I don't post videos or anything. I just watch what other people do and go, oh, that's interesting. And then I leave again. So it's a whole new world I haven't explored.
It is a whole new world. I know I'm same. I know TikTok is big, especially with younger people, and I haven't looked at it at all. I've just avoided it. So there you are. I'm being honest here. And I'm probably a little intimidated by it, to be honest. I feel like I've learnt so many social media platforms over the years, and I'm just a bit tired of learning another one.
I know. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because I am so keen to see how freelancers can leverage it. And so we really wanted to get an expert in this area. So we've asked Keenya Kelly to talk about it with us today. She's a social media strategist, entrepreneur, and the go-to expert for building brands and generating revenue through short form video, which is essentially TikTok in a nutshell.
So good. Yeah. Keenya is known as the TikTok queen. So obviously it's her thing. She's got over 500,000 followers on TikTok, and she's generated more than $4 million in revenue through strategic content, which is so interesting.
Wow.
She's speaking to us from Texas, and so she really knows this area.
Yeah. So given TikTok in particular has really grown in the past few years, we're going to chat to her about what writers need to learn about these platforms right now so you can earn more and raise your profile. And if you haven't tried it, this is really worth listening to. So hello, Keenya, and welcome to The Content Bite.
Welcome.
Yay. I'm so excited to be here. I love hearing you guys, y'all's thoughts about TikTok. Y'all going to be blown away.
We're Luddites.
We're tired,
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's where we should start, because I'm new to it and I'm a bit ignorant about it. My kids use it. But tell us about the platform and how it can help you secure revenue.
Yeah. So can I just say that I love how y'all say, like, so we say hello and y'all say hello. Y'all have like an R. I love it. I love it.
It's like on The Real Housewives, they say, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's so funny. Like we all have our different accents. It's just funny to like hear. I completely forgot what the question was. Sorry.
Tell us, start from the basics with TikTok, how it works, how you can make money.
So TikTok is very similar to all the other platforms. The thing is that it just completely changed the culture of marketing. It changed the culture of video marketing. It changed the culture of social media. When we think about, like, if you go back and look at what YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and what Instagram were like in 2020, they were all their own thing. You knew that when you came there, you had to do different things there. But TikTok came in and basically just blew everybody away. It took a lot of market share. And because they realized people are on their phones, they only have a short amount of time, that their attention span. And so TikTok literally changed the way that advertising works. Like if you look at more commercials on television or online, they all feel like a TikTok type of video because it's recognizing the fact that people are always on their phones. They have a very short attention span, and there's a way to market to people in a way that is entertaining slash educating, but also advertising.
Mm. Interesting.
You know, you're really big across two social platforms in particular, Instagram and TikTok. So what are some of the biggest shifts you've seen on those platforms in the past few years?
Yeah, so the biggest shift was going to short form video because the longest time we were all doing focusing on live streams or pre-recorded content that was more longer. And then now it's way more videos that are 1 minute or less. And it is fine. People are making buying decisions a whole lot faster now because they can consume. If you've got 20, 15-second videos, they can literally consume like 10 or 15 videos really quickly and decide that you are their person. And if your message is convincing enough, you're going to be making sales like crazy over and over and over again just from this short content. It really speeds up that like, know, and trust factor a lot faster.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. So do you find the same with Instagram? Because I do love Instagram and I spend a lot of time, but I'm not sure if I make money from it. I think it does raise my profile, but does that work as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because the average person, they're either focused on Instagram, focused on TikTok, doing whatever they're doing, consuming based upon whatever platform that they love. And if you, as the marketer, the business owner, if you're learning the creative ways to sell your product or service to that person, and you learn how to create content that makes them stop scrolling from their entertainment, you're going to make a significant amount of money. Like most of my money comes from Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and it's 99% short videos. And it's me educating, sharing who I am, sharing what I've done, sharing what they can do, and then making an offer. And I'm watching them come through my system. So it's like on Instagram, we have a tracking link. On TikTok, we have a tracking link. On all the platforms, we have a tracking link. And we can see where all the sales are coming from. And we can see it. They opted in from this, and we can see that it's really happening on all the platforms.
Oh,
Wow.
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 Yeah, you've got it going on. I don't have it going on. Google's tracking link. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, something I think that everybody is confused about continually because they're always changing the goalpost is how often to post. Let's start with that. Like if you're on TikTok or Instagram, how often do you really need to be posting these short videos?
So I always tell people you at least want to be posting once a week.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
There is the rules that like, oh, you have to be every single day. Well, the average person, they are busy with their life and you have to do something that is consistently that you're doing, right? Once you're getting consistent at that one, the algorithms are also learning, okay, so Rachel's going to be here and she's going to post on this day. Great. Then they're like, we're going to reward Rachel for her consistency of her once a week, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, what'll start happening is that you'll see the amount of traction you're getting from that once a week. Then you'll go to twice a week, but the perfect scenario would be every day. If you can have a piece of content that goes out every day, you have an opportunity to grow an audience every day, to make sales every day, similar to like a coffee shop. If the coffee shop is open, they make money. If it's closed, they don't make any money. And so it's just an opportunity for constant exposure, lead generation, and conversion of sales.
So do you think it's more about the consistency rather than the actual time? Like being consistent once a week is better than doing every day here and there and then being a bit all over the shop?
Yeah, for sure. Because the more you have a consistent cadence of anything, the better you're going to do. It's kind of like working out. You can say, I'm going to work out 5 days a week. But if you crush it in that 2 hours on Monday and that's all you got, and you come back that Monday in 6 months, you're going to have a different body because you're consistent versus you're here this week and you're gone for 3 weeks and you're here. Your body is just not going to have that consistency thing going. But it's also not just the showing up, the content, it is the actual content as well. Because if you put out bad content, you just put out bad content once a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I've got to admit that I do get a bit exhausted keeping up with all the changes to social media, which is one of the reasons I don't offer it to clients, because I feel you've got to be really into it and and be up to date because the algorithms keep moving and the trends are always changing. How do you stay on top of it?
Yeah, well, first, it's definitely my job to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
But also, I follow accounts of people who are just like me, who are social media teachers. And so when I'm scrolling to see my entertaining things, I can see the things that they're teaching. And I'm like, oh, that's really good. But I also subscribe to different newsletters that are like big, big brands that teach what's happening with social media. Great. I see their announcements. When TikTok makes an announcement or Instagram makes an announcement, I read the announcement and go, okay. And so I pay attention to what those things are. It's kind of like how people pay attention to the news. I don't watch the news, right? The things that's going to help me grow my business and with my clients, I pay attention to them. But I'm also reminded that even though platforms change, the person's still the same. So Instagram may be pushing more images, but I know that we are still watching video, right? I still know that my customer is watching video. When I talk about this, and this in this way, she is still going to watch my content. I just get an opportunity to also add this new feature that they've said. But if I am just consistently doing my same thing in a way that I can see that grows my audience, I don't have to keep changing every time the platform changes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, before we get on to strategy, I'd love to just ask you, how are you batching your content for the week or the month? And what are you using to kind of keep it all rolling, I suppose? Do you have a specific
Yeah.
content plan system?
For sure. Yes, I used to be all over the place. Like when I first got started in 2020 with the short video, I was filming every day, multiple videos every single day. But as my business grew, I couldn't keep doing that because I had to focus on the business. And so I started learning the art of batching, creating like on the weekends, creating like a lot of pieces of content. But one strategic thing that I do once a month is I'll take like an hour once a month and I'll go to like one of the little like I live in an apartment complex that has really pretty events places or whatever. And I'll go down to the event place where everybody's at work and I'll film a bunch of B-roll, meaning that I'll bring down like 5 different shirts and I'll film myself doing a bunch of things 5 different times. And I'll probably get like 70 or 80 short 10-second videos in that hour, right?
Yep.
And I just have the footage. If I'm going through the airport, I'll film footage. If everything that I'm doing, I just film footage that I could use later, and I just put it into a B-roll folder, and I just put it there. And I do that once a month. Now I've got enough content for months because it's all B-roll.
Yep.
But when it comes to actually like speaking content, I will do that probably once every other week. I'll take like a Saturday and I'll do some on Saturday and I'll do some on Sunday and I just film it out all at once. And so I like when I'm really going hard to grow my accounts, I may post like 3 times a day. So I'll have a plan that I know, okay, for the next 4 weeks, here are the 3 pieces of content I'm putting out every single day, right? I'll have a theme. My first content of the day is about this, is this type. My second content is this type, and third is this type. And so then I go, okay, today I am filming all for the first content of the day. And I'll wear one shirt and I'll film every single video for the next 3 weeks for that 5 a.m. content. Then the next day I'll change the shirt and I'll go, okay, now I'm filming all the content for the second video of the day for the whole month. And then the last day I'll do that. That way I'm not wearing the same shirt back to back to back to back, but it's like this shirt, this shirt, this shirt. Then again, it's this shirt, this shirt, this shirt. And that lets me like just get it all out. But I make sure my scripts and all that stuff is done first. So that way filming is easy and I edit later.
That is awesome. I love it. So when you said you take all those little videos and that footage and the B-roll and put it in a folder, are you doing that on Google Drive? Are you doing it on your computer, or are you putting it into a scheduling tool?
I'm putting it into a tool that it's called Playbook. It's like a Google Drive, but it's better. So Google Drive typically will is it compress? It'll compress your video
Yeah.
so you don't get the same quality. So there's a tool called Playbook. It's like $12 a month. And we have like a social media 2025 like folder, and then like it'll say April 2026. And then I'll dump all the videos in April 2026. And then our team they'll take each video and go, this is Keenya walking, Keenya in striped shirt, Keenya doing this, Keenya doing that. And that way it's all like labeled of this is what this is. And so when I want to use it, I come in and go, me typing, me walking, me laughing, and I can find what I'm looking for because it's all organized.
So clever. And
So
then you
good.
sort of track the metrics to show how you're growing based on the
Yes.
videos you're posting. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not just tracking the metrics of because we're tracking the metrics of views, of course, but you're tracking the metrics of followers. But we really use like automated like chat bots to really get our audience to either join our email list or buy our products. And so we can see that if this video had these many views and these many people commented, of those people that commented, how many of them actually became a sale. And if we see that we got the views but no sales, that's okay to get the views, but what actually made me get sales, we will do more of that and less of just the views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting. I've heard about those. So the chatbots you mean is like when you say comment this word and I'll give you my thing. Is
Yeah.
that sort of how those work?
Yes,
I hear
exactly.
really mixed reports about people who love and loathe those.
I love them.
You do?
Oh,
Yeah.
we get hundreds of leads, every single month. Now, some people don't like it because it's an AI. It's like chatbots talking. It's not a real person. But the person who really runs a business and is using social media to help
Yep.
them generate leads and sales
Yep.
looks at it and goes, if I can get as much stuff done audit through automation and less
Yep.
as me or a person,
Yep.
then oh my goodness, you know what I mean? That's like we have a social media person that helps us, but I would rather have 100 people comment that word and she doesn't have to respond to 100 people,
Yeah.
but she may have to respond to 20 people who actually asked the question, but all those people still get exactly what they need. And that's a huge benefit because like at any point in time, your video could go viral and you have to prepare for that viral moment. And the worst thing you want to have happen is you don't have any kind of automation for that viral moment. You know, like one of my clients, she went viral for her very first video working with us and she made $20,000 in 7 days, but she didn't have to do anything because we already had automation and things were set up to where when that thing popped off, all she got to do was just
Sit back.
watch the sales come in.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. So, well, you're obviously at the vanguard of everything that's working right now. So, what are you seeing, really working for yourself, on TikTok and Instagram?
It's still going to be relatable content. So people
Mhm.
are not necessarily looking for highly polished, highly edited content. We
Mhm.
shifted to that in 2025 and nobody cared about my edited content. They were like, just show up, right? And so they really want unpolished content, right? They want to feel like, because they know you're selling, but they want to feel like you're a real person, right? Even if you have a chat bot.
That's
And
even
so
more important, isn't it? Now.
yeah, because we're always used to being sold to, and it's okay. We know ads are coming up there, but people are becoming even more in tune with the fact that they want to do business with a human being that can touch or something like that.
Yeah.
And the more authentic you are, the more people enjoy it and they consume it. They may not buy immediately or they buy, but they're really looking for the authenticity of a thing. It reminds me of like when the US has a Super Bowl Sunday and there's that brand Budweiser. Every single year, we knew that Budweiser beer commercial was going to have an advertisement. Well, every year, Budweiser has gotten more in tune with the emotions of their customer. And so now we're not just looking for the funny Budweiser ad anymore. We're looking for the emotional connection that Budweiser is making to their customer. And like every year, we're now looking forward to how is Budweiser going to knock it out of the park? And it's making you want to be more connected and more with that brand. And people are looking for that in who we are and what it is that we do. Like every time I talk about the fact that I went through a divorce and instead of me just being mad, I went to therapy and I made $1 million. People are like, oh, they can connect with me even more because they're like,
They
I
want to
don't look
connect with you.
unattainable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't seem like I have nothing, like everything's perfect. It's like, nah, I got problems like everybody else, and it makes me feel more relatable to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting.
Interesting.
So do
Yeah.
you think it's a bit of it's about visibility? How do you increase your visibility on these platforms?
Yeah, so it's really about like learning how to create content that makes your audience stop. So they call it scroll stopping content. So the algorithms on all the platforms are your friend. They're not the enemy, right? And the algorithm is a matchmaker. It's looking for what kind of content do you put out? Who is interested in in that type of content, and they're trying to match that person with content. So if they're going to keep you, Lynn, on the platform, they know that you want to see what kind of content do you watch?
Oh, a lot of interiors because I
Okay,
write about
exactly.
houses and
So
interiors. Yeah.
right. So you love a lot of interior, right? So the algorithm is learning that every single time they serve you up certain things, you're staying there and you're watching. So then if I create interior design content, they are looking to see like, okay, I'm gonna send your content, Kenya, to Lynn. If Lynn doesn't like it and 10 other people I send it to don't like it, there's something wrong with your content because they're
Yeah.
supposed to like it. So our job is to create content in a way where our audience that it's sending to says, what is this? And it makes them want to stop and watch and engage with the content. A lot of times we just film something and we just put it up, but we are digital marketers, right? Even though we have our businesses, if you're on social media, you are a digital marketer and you got to
Yeah.
learn the art of digital marketing, which is get somebody to stop and watch this video within a second and get them to keep watching and taking action. Yeah.
This is so enlightening. I did a B-roll, like you say. It was just me walking across a park. So it was literally just the view of the park and then overlaid with, I think it was, 5 things that happen every time I write a story. But it
Yeah.
was funny. It was kind of like for journalists. And that went
Yeah.
absolutely nuts. And I thought, wow, okay, that's interesting. But then, of course, I ran out of time and didn't do any others. But it's making me think like I really need to plan, look at what really works and be more strategic about planning it, because it's interesting. I mean, a lot of our listeners are sort of freelance copywriters, journalists, content pros, editors, that sort of thing. So say that they want to, use some of these ideas you're giving us, maybe dip a toe into TikTok, or, can you give us or give them a couple of angles or ideas that they could try this week?
Yeah. So my number one thing for content creation is, do you guys have access to Claude AI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my number one thing that I do now is I go to Claude AI. I connect Claude to my Gmail, my Google Drive, everything that related to me, right? And I'm now using Claude as my content strategist. Okay. And so what I do is I find my top competitors, the ones that are crushing it on social media in my particular niche, and I'll have a full conversation with Claude and I'll say, my direct competitor is this person, this person, this person, and they are doing this on Instagram, da 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 da, whatever. What are the top things that you are seeing that is really working with them and for their audience based on their social media? And then what is the difference between what they're doing versus what I'm doing? And that way you can get an unbiased assessment of your competitor versus you, right? Once you get
Interesting.
all that, yes, then you're going to go, okay, all right. So this month, this quarter, we are focused on selling this, this, and this to this person. And based upon what it is that they're doing is working extremely well. What do you feel like we could do in our content? And let it just start talking to you. And then once you agree with it, then you want to say, now give me 20 detailed content ideas for my next 20 videos. Give me my text hook, give me my text on screen, give me my caption. And if you want me to speak in the video, give me the bullet points. And I want this content to be so good that my audience is salivating for what it is that I have to offer. You're going to find where Claude AI is going to give you the most fantastic idea specifically for you, your niche, what your audience is already responding to. Most of it you already agree to because you've already been talking to it. And when you film and edit this, you're going to be like, why did I do this sooner? And it's typically because we think that we need to do this grandiose stuff, but we really need to do this thing down here. And we're just so big in our minds of what we do. And Claude AI is going to be your best, 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 best friend. Like all of my clients, when I'm working with them now on live calls, I go, all right, let's go to Claude. And we do screen share and we talk to Claude and they go, and they're able to see what they can start with. And then once you've done that like 4 or 5 times, the videos, then you're able to gauge, oh, wow, I never would have thought they responded to that. I never thought they responded to that. That's like you with walking in the park. That is a clue that you should do more videos of you walking for viewing, and then just have lots of different footage of you walking, whether you're walking away, you're walking towards, walking left, walking right. It's a big clue for you that do more of that, and then just changing your text or voiceovers. Yeah.
Yeah, Claude is definitely way more sophisticated than ChatGPT.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I like chat. It's just I feel like Claude's a much better writer and strategist.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
So how can freelancers use TikTok and Instagram to get clients, not just views?
Yes. So tell me what would you say the freelancers are selling?
Say like copywriting, they want to find clients who need copy or need content or need clients to say edit a annual report or a book manuscript or something like that.
Sometimes it's about establishing your expertise in a particular niche too.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things that I always tell people is that if you're a thought leader, right, then you have to you got to create your own content pillars. And so what that means is that what do you actually create content about, right? And so if you are a writer, it's like, what are the 5 things that you're like, this is what I create content about, or what I would create content about that can lead to the thing that I'm selling, right? So your thing, let's just say as a writer could be, if you're going to use AI, here's the things to do when it comes to using AI, right? Or here's how to train your AI or whatever, right? Or if they're not going to say AI, it's like, here's why you've got to be writing and using AI in 2026 or whatever, right? And you basically have to position yourself as the expert, as the guru that people can connect to and relate to. And when they want to buy what you're selling, they'll buy. Now, that could be you doing talking head videos where you're literally talking head. Two, it could be where you're doing a reaction video where you see somebody has written some copy and you're reacting to it, saying, this is what you should do and this is what you should not do. And here's why you shouldn't do this, why you shouldn't do that. Here is why, well, my client wrote this, this, and this. This is why that turned into X amount of dollars, right? And you're positioning yourself as what have you, right? Or that person could be answering questions and doing what's called a reply video where they're actually coaching people in their content. But ultimately, everything that you do should be telling people to opt into something or to buy something, right? So when I'm teaching people about here's viral hooks you want to have for your videos, I'm teaching them that, but also saying, but if you join me inside of my content intensive, we're going to help you with this, and that. So not just this, but this, and that. And the person that had success from that one video may say, oh, well, if she gave us that for free, imagine what it's going to be like when we work with her.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
interesting.
I would love to know, because you probably see this a lot and you're rolling your eyes, but what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see, content creators, professionals making on TikTok and Instagram?
Yeah, the first thing is not being on TikTok,
Oops.
'cause people still think it's just like kids there. They still think it's just young people there. And I'm like, I'm 44 years old and I've been there 6 years. You know what I mean? And the people who are making the most money right now are not just the young people. It's the people who see the audience. So that's the number one thing is not being there. The second thing is just posting anything and trying to be like everybody else. Like you're trying to do a trend, or you're trying to do something goofy, or you're trying to post your kids or whatever. It's like, no, you got to treat this like real estate. So like every like in the US, on every major highway or corner, there is a Walgreens or a CVS. It's just like that's what's always there, right? They have the best real estate. And so you have to look at your social media platforms as real estate, like as your golden ticket, that if you put this out and it's the lottery, this could be your moment. And it's like you have to look at that as this could be my lottery every time you put that out, because you never know what people are going to respond to or what the algorithm just says overdrive to that content. The third thing I would say is like doing like Zoom classes. It's like, we're here on Zoom and they're just taking a Zoom and like just trying to turn it into a short video and just uploading it, letting a software just chop up the video. If you're going to take repurposed content, you have to make sure that the content feels like it's a short. Like, for example, I was telling somebody earlier today who has a podcast and she was like, how do I get people to come back to my podcast? And I said, well, you can't just clip anything from a podcast. You got to take this moment, and this moment, and you got to put it together and let those moments like build on each other, and you leave a person on a cliffhanger. Now, all they want to do is like, where do I find the episode? Now they're going to go and find your episode. So if you're going to clip things in, you got to like add extreme value in those clips. And then it can be it, but also try to lead them to the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is such a great tip. And I think for a lot of us, it comes down to time, doesn't it? It's like finding those clips. It's something we could do. We have those skills, but finding those clips, putting them together in like Descript or one of those, or CapCut or something. And it's time, isn't it? But
I don't know that it's time, actually. It's priorities. We do other things. Yeah. Like you have to say, this is something I really want to do, and you give priorities. I mean, we all have the same amount of time, but
yeah. Or I suppose you're prioritizing what's going to make you money. And is it going to make you money bringing people back to your podcast, maybe? Or is it just a visibility thing? Or
Yeah, I think that if a person is not using social media, it is because they really don't understand what they're missing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like a person who doesn't eat certain foods or drink enough water. They don't really realize the benefit of like if they drink water with electrolytes, what it would give them. They're just like, it's fine. I've been drinking water my whole life. I'm fine. But once they start drinking electrolytes, it's like, this just changed my life, right? And so I think that if a person really knew the power of what social media could do, because like they're visible and they're doing their message, but it's like pouring gasoline on what you were doing. So like I was on live stream for years, Facebook and Instagram live stream, but it wasn't until I took that same message and put it on TikTok, and it was like overnight, what I had been building all these years just exploded. And it was because here's a place people are spending all their time, and it's Super Bowl Sunday every single time I post a piece of content, because what happens, the way people are consuming on this app, you know what I mean? So yeah.
So what
Yeah.
did you I'd love to know, like, at what point you know, had one type of business and then went on TikTok and then it exploded. I mean, what were you seeing in that moment and what kind of transformed your business? How long did it take?
Yeah, so I was building a brand design agency for like many years. And at the beginning of 2020, when we knew something was happening in the world, I was just kind of praying for like a strategy because I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going to happen. And I heard God tell me to get on TikTok. And I thought it was the weirdest thing I've ever heard because nobody was talking about TikTok. And I'm like, why is he talking about TikTok? I don't understand. And he just kept talking to me. I just kept hearing, get on TikTok. And so initially I was there just creating funny videos because I didn't understand what was happening, and one of my funny videos went viral and I was like, I think I'm onto something. So
Mm.
then I was like, let me try to promote something else. And so I wrote a book called Before You Quit Your Job. And I was like, I'm going to use one of these trends and I'm going to be petty about my divorce and say, I think it was like a 7-second video and it said, I was depressed after my ex-husband cheated on me, but I wrote a book and I made $4 million or something like that. It was really petty, it was really fast, but it went super viral and the book was selling like crazy. And I was like, "Oh, there's a creative way to do marketing here," right?
Yeah.
So then I started selling like website design and logo design through the creativity on the app.
Mm.
But then from there, I was like, I don't really like this design business anymore. I love social media more. And so I just said, I'm gonna put down design and focus on social. But everything that I knew about email marketing, list building, live streaming, content creation, I just started teaching that I started teaching it versus just doing it in my business. I started teaching it and it just went,
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah.
So interesting.
Amazing. It's
Wow.
really making me wanna look at TikTok.
I
Yeah.
told you.
Yeah, you are inspiring me for sure.
Yeah.
I wanna talk to you about, like, something that we see on social a lot, and that is this whole vulnerability thing, you know, and being authentic. We see a lot of people crying or posting a video of themselves, like, in distress, and they go, "This is a good time to video myself and put that on social." I mean,
Right.
what are your thoughts on vulnerability, and where do you draw the line on that sort of stuff?
I think that everybody has their way of whatever, you know. Um, when I'm crying, my instinct isn't to film myself, but it may be for somebody else. I am not gonna do it. I'm not gonna encourage my clients to do it.
Yep.
I feel like it does feel a little icky at times when you see people crying online, but I get that some people that's how they want to express themselves, you know. Do I think that that's what you should do as a business? Maybe, maybe not. Is that my style? No. Does that style work for some other people? Yes, but I feel like when I think about vulnerability, I don't think about you telling the world everything that's going on with you or everything that has happened, but that you're using a part of something that has happened and here's how I've overcame and here's how
Yeah.
you can overcome.
Yeah.
I don't want to dig people while I'm down. I want to tell them how I overcame.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
interesting.
There was something on Threads last night, actually. It was this guy, and he posted a picture of himself and his wife, and he said, "Hey, tonight we're trying for baby number 2." You know, and then the comment, I mean, I love Threads just for the comments. Like, you go on there
Yeah.
for 1 minute and you're there for 2 hours, and the comments are
Yeah.
all like, they should really bring back journaling and tell this guy that, yes, should be
Mm.
journaling instead of
Yeah.
posting this stuff. It was just hilarious. But it got me really thinking, like you say, you don't need to post every thought, everything that comes into your head, everything you're going through. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Everybody has their limit. They have their boundary of what that kind of looks like. And
Mm.
I just go, okay, these people do that. I'm like, that's not my thing. But I'm like, I'm glad you're posting that because now I can see it, you know. But I'm like, I just that's just not me, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. What about newsjacking? And that's sort of when there's some sort of news item or something and you put your own spin on it or you take it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Does that work or should you
Oh
stay in your
yeah.
own lane?
Yeah.
It works extremely well, especially if it's within your niche. Like you can ride the coattails on that. So like
Mm.
when the US kept trying to ban TikTok, every time something came out, I was always talking about it. And it
Mm.
ended up getting me on CNN Business, News Nation. I ended up being everywhere because every time a story would come out, I was making announcements about the story. And so
Mm.
it's a huge opportunity to be able to jump in on something. Like if someone's in marketing or whatever and there's some big event that's happening, look for the angle funnel that you can utilize, that you can jump on. You know, like I've been watching this lady. She's a PR, I guess, strategist for like when crazy things go on. And so she's been taking little episodes and she just she breaks down why this is a PR nightmare or why this is good or what's a PR person, what's a lawyer. And like it really like showcases her expertise. And I think that that's a really great way to do a thing. Or even like you say, you guys work with a lot of writers. They can literally take stories of where someone has said something or written some type of statement, and they can break down what is being said there and what's not being said, and what's being hinted at and what's not being hinted at. Because it's like it's good things for people to understand, you know?
So interesting.
We have a lot of PRs who listen, so they will be like taking that little tip of yours and going, "Oh, I didn't think of that."
Everything is an opportunity.
Oh, it is. It is. Take us through like a typical week for you. Like what are you doing you know, for your Monday to Friday?
Yeah. So normally I'm creating content, of course, like once a week at least for my YouTube channel or for my shorts. I edit my own videos because it's just a lot easier for me to do that. And it's cheaper to do that. I get a lot of emails, whether that is from our clients or that's from brands that are reaching out for collaborations. But I'm also doing a lot of like live streams. I do a lot of live streams on my own. I'm teaching my community. I have a private like mastermind that I coach. And then it's typically, I guess, the strategy side of things are for my own marketing. So I'm also actually changing up for 2026 and for the future because I'm single and I'm trying to get married to somebody someday. And so I am actually shifting my business and giving more responsibility to my online business manager for them to run more of the business so that all I can focus on is sales, content creation, and I can be outside like dating and stuff. So I'm like, I want more time. So I'm like simplifying my business, making more, but putting more responsibility on other people in the team. Because I'm like, I'm 44 years old. I want to go outside.
Live your life.
Exactly.
That sounds like it's a good balance. Is it a good balance for you?
Yeah. I'm working on it now because I'm like, I moved back to Houston, Texas like a year ago. And every time I'm out, I'm like, wow, look at all these men. I'll never see them. I'm like, because you always in the house.
You're always
So I'm
working.
like, guys, get out.
Get
So
out
I'm
of the
like,
house.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, get out.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. We're now ending the podcast with fast 3 questions. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I'm interested in this one because you've mentioned a couple of things, but I'd like to know more. First question, favorite tools of the trade that you absolutely cannot live without?
I cannot live without CapCut because
CapCut.
CapCut is the greatest editing tool. I can't live without TikTok. I just cannot. It is a place I make money. It's a place I get all of my humor. It's just everything to me. And I cannot live without my cell phone, obviously. Is that it? Yeah. My cell phone. Yeah. Yeah.
So question 2 is one habit that genuinely saves you time.
Ooh, having an executive assistant. So we hired my assistant from the Philippines 4 years ago. And when I was hiring her, they told me, make a list of things you don't like to do and give it to her. And they were like, and make it as a job posting. And I was like, well, that's kind of mean. They said, well, just do it. And I put the job posting up and she is amazing at all the things that I'm bad at. And so it's like, I don't have to focus on that because I literally give it all to her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Makes a difference, virtual assistants. I've got 2, so I know what you mean.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Final question. One thing that you wish you'd done sooner in your career?
It would probably be having a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because I realized how much money that I've lost. If 10 years ago, if I was creating one video a week and had affiliate links in those videos, like they would be paying me forever. But I didn't really do much with a YouTube channel or with affiliate links like 10 years ago. And I'm like, I can't even imagine where my affiliate revenue would be.
Yeah.
Oh, so interesting.
YouTube is a whole other episode, isn't it? It's like, we've got YouTube channel and I've got one for Rachel's List, and it's just like, you've got to get on there and leverage it. Yeah. TikTok,
exactly.
YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. This has just blown my mind. I'm going straight
such
to
an
TikTok.
inspiring conversation.
Yes.
So I'm sure it's got a lot of our listeners excited. Tell us where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm on all the socials. My name,
Obviously.
Keenya, Kelly, Keenya Kelly. My website is KenyaKelly.com, and I'm pretty much everywhere. Like literally, if you type in Keenya Kelly, there'll be pages and pages in Google because I've been around for so long, but it's all there.
Oh, fantastic.
Amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you
Mm.
so much, Kenya. We'll put all of that in the show notes. And yeah, we look forward to seeing what
We
our
love
audience
your
does on
energy.
TikTok.
It's so good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And good
It's
luck
gonna be
with
good
that.
to see y'all on TikTok. Y'all gonna be on TikTok.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch you like watching me video.
Like, there she is. There she is.
Yeah, there she is. Oh my God.
Oh,
Well,
gosh.
thank you again and good luck with the second husband hunt.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. I'm like, I'm calling him in. I'm calling him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask the universe. Get that man.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thanks for listening. And we'll see everybody next week. It's great.
Bye.
guys.
Bye. Thanks again to our wonderful sponsors, Rounded, easy accounting and invoicing software that helps freelancers run their business with confidence.
And don't forget, if you're a gold member of Rachel's List, you can check your welcome emails for an exclusive discount code on the annual subscription rate. You can also find it in the private Facebook Gold group or just contact us at hello@rachelslist.com.au.